traumatic.
Hello, everyone. Jane here from Your Way Weight Loss. Hi, Leash.
Hi.
So today we're talking about the power behind experience, just the power that it needs to be valued. Your experience should be valued, not just results. Oh, it gets me going. I'm thinking of other things. Like we kind of shortly spoke about it before we started and kind of just threw some ideas, but I'm thinking of other, examples where people aren't valuing their experience enough and they're just looking at like the last year I haven't lost 10 pounds, but that is a year of living where you did not gain 20 pounds and maybe you've gained some knowledge or a different type of lifestyle. Like there's so many things I want to say.
So many things. There's a lot of, do you know what comes out of experiences? What's the main thing that comes out of experiences?
Results. That's almost what I want to say. But
I
did
want
you
to say
want to say?
learning.
Right. You're right. Yours is better.
I just think about millions of life experiences as well that I've had personally, where obviously the experience was incredible, but what came out of that experience was what I learned.
Yes. And what I think I meant by results was that true results come with a lot of experience. Like you can, get something. You could be happy with a certain reward, but let's say you get a certain job. Okay, well, you just got it. It's exciting. You go celebrate, but keeping that job, excelling at that job, doing that job in the most, the most best way comes with experience with it, right? So it's like two kind of celebrations that I think people don't value enough. We want a parade when we hit that 50. We want that medal. We want that picture. And we're so excited. We want to share with the world. 2 years later, you're still at 50. You've maintained 50. You have lived. You have learned. You have grown and adjusted. And there's other parts too. And I know that not all of life is about weight loss, but of course we are a podcast that helps women lose weight. And so let's use that as an example to say, like, there are other things that you need to say, I have been successful with weight loss than just weight loss.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Like
I'm sorry, I tuned most of that out because all I was thinking about is you asking for your medal as you were going to take Dia to the swim lessons and not valuing the 6-week experience. You wanted your medal just for showing up in your cute bathing suit.
How funny was that?
It was beyond funny.
Oh my God. So guys, I did this story. So on my Instagram, I did a story and it's me in my bathing suit. And I'm like, so I'm waiting for my medal in the mail, guys, because I just enrolled my daughter in swimming. And first of all, step one, right there, I deserve a medal because how annoying is this whole thing, right?
Absolutely everything. I'm sorry, parents, why are you pretending it's not annoying to take your kids to swim lessons? The wet hair, the changing when they're wet. Oh,
the washing the stuff after. I forgot that I was an adult. So I left all that stuff in my car and then I found it this morning. I'm like, right, you're in charge. So I enroll her. I feel good about it. She's excited to go to swimming again. Awesome. I feel like a great mom. I think that being able to swim and being a good swimmer is an amazing, habileté. What's a habileté in English? Skill. Yes. Mm-hmm. Anyways. And so I enroll her. Life is good. We figure out like not only is bringing her there, everything about it is annoying. You also have to fit this in your life. Like these are minutes. Driving them, who's going to pick her up, blah, blah, blah. So they tell me what the different schedules are and we figure it out. We're busy people, right? I am a spin instructor, Jeff, like we have another child, like there's a lot happening. And I don't want this to be another thing that I add on my mom's plate. So I'm like, okay, we need to figure this out. Just us, like we are in charge, right? So we figure out a time and it's still like, we needed to push things aside in order for us to fit this freaking swimming lesson into our lives. And at the end of the call, she's like, "Hey, there's been some changes." I'm like, "Of course, there's been some changes because of COVID. It's okay, cool." Like, I'm thinking she's going to tell me like where Dia needs to change and whatever. She's like, "First of all, you do not have access to a changing room. So you have to change at home. You will only have access to the changing room after your class, not before." Okay, very interesting. So they obviously have this like whole thing set up, right? And she's like, "Also, parents need to go in the water." Nah, bah. I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "So this might be a game changer." It was hilarious. She like knew obviously after she said that. And she's like, "You can change your mind. You can have a conversation." I'm like, "Well, there you go." Like the one time that I was like, "Oh, my mom can bring her that day," that my mom doesn't get in the water. She can't even swim. Like, so, and it's deep end. Like Dia's 7 and she's level 3. So it's deep end for 30 minutes. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, and I have to help her with technique. So you have to be a swimmer. Like you have to. That's why there was only 3 people in the class.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyways, that's why there's tons of room when you call. I was late calling to enroll her. And usually like you're on a waiting list, you know? So she was like, "Oh, tons of room. We have this class and this class." Anyways, so I made a story, Instagram, and I'm like, "Okay, I deserve a medal because of this, blah, 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 and that I need to get into the water." Well, the aquatic center was watching my stories, apparently, not the aquatic center. The people working there follow me on Instagram. And I'm guessing, and they saw my story. And so when I arrived, they had a medal waiting for me.
It's too much.
It's hilarious. I loved
It's too much.
everything about it because it is very funny.
Very funny. Okay, also I'm thinking, how was the experience?
It was actually super fun. Oh, and then the monsieur, the instructor's name was Jacob, and Dia's boyfriend, his name is Jacob. So she yells really loudly when he's like, "Allô, je suis Monsieur Jacob," and she's like, "Mon boyfriend s'appelle Jacob." Everyone's looking at us, and I'm just like trying to play this like it's cute game, but really I am like, this is real, guys. And I was like, and then he's like, "You're too young to have a boyfriend," and she's like, "Ben, no, I had Chase before." Like she like names all the things. I'm like, "We're quite the duo here, Monsieur Jacob." So anyways, I had a blast. I had a blast because you know what? My outlook on this was you can't be a big baby. Like chose this. This was your decision. You could have said no. And so I actually rocked it, loved it. So there was no drama. And I obviously love swimming. So I signed up for it because I would love for her to love swimming as well, right? Don't we all do
I
that with our
mean,
kids?
I've seen her swim. She loves swimming. Check.
Mhm.
But do you know what? From this, I just get that so many other parents would be like, I'm out. Okay.
Right.
But you are not allowed. It's like you're not allowed to tell me if you don't like mushrooms until you've tried mushrooms. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't mean
What
mushrooms,
kind of
the drug.
mushrooms are we talking about here?
I mean actual mushrooms.
From the grocery store?
From the grocery store. And it's the same. Like you're not allowed to be like, that is gonna be the worst time ever. I mean, that's what I was thinking. I still feel that way. I'm not gonna and nor am I willing to test this experience. But so often we actually hold ourselves back from learning, experiencing happiness, progress, results, because we think we're not gonna like something that we haven't even tried.
Absolutely. And also, why is this always happening? Is because it is like it's uncomfortable. Like how uncomfortable and out not comfort zone. Man, I had an amazing word when you were talking. Like it's just like I have to like get okay, let's use uncomfortable. Like I have to get how uncomfortable and how not easy and out of what you want to do. um to like get naked. Like basically you're naked. And like I'm in a one piece. Thank God I bought one piece. Thank God one pieces are in right now. Um
Also, can we just talk about, to stop you, how intense it is to put on your bathing suit in the middle of winter? Like, it's almost like you get used to it in the summer, but the very first time you put your bathing suit on, there's a lot of like, it's a little startling.
oh yes it is. And you're so pale and just like everything's not what you wanted. And you know what? Like all of this was so like uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, like, that's not the right word, guys. Like, what's the word I'm looking for where I am in my house all comfy and then I have to like get in my car, get undressed in the bathing suit, go in the water. There's a word I was thinking of. Well, we'll go with uncomfortable for now
I
because this is
really
all I
feel
get.
like uncomfortable is a great word to
Okay, perfect.
describe that.
It's not like uncomfortable in my body. It's just like not at all what I want to be doing. Like, ugh. Um,
Annoying.
yes, all of it. So you're like, this is just not something that I want to do right now. So it really gets you out of your comfort zone because you're comfortable in your warm house. And also the class is at 5:15. So like imagine all of that. Like I need to feed them before. Like there's a lot happening there. And then we're home and then it's like almost bedtime. She needs to shower. Like it's just
There's a lot of factors to consider here.
Yep.
But you know what? I think of even like sometimes when we could do date nights going out to eat with Neil. Sometimes I'd be like, ugh, like getting pretty, leaving my house in the dead of winter when it's dark and it's freezing. And I always love it when I push myself to go and do it and experience it.
It's harder to do this in uncomfortable settings. I like that better. Like it's an uncomfortable setting, like the pool, the water, the wetness, the being cold, whatever. It's and staying comfortable in your zone. Going on date night when it's like windy and cold and whatever, let's just stay in. But then once you're there, or being in an uncomfortable setting where let's say I go to a setting. Well, I never feel comfortable in settings like publicly, but people could be feeling uncomfortable going like at a housewarming party where they know no one. But once
Yeah.
they're there, they're so happy they went because someone they haven't seen in a long time shows up and then great conversations happen. Like I truly believe that amazing things happen out of your comfort zone.
I couldn't agree more. And when you get out of your own little bubble, you talk to people, different people that have different opinions and different perspectives. And that helps you build who you are when
Helps you grow.
helps you grow. I love when when I have people in my life that I can have conversations with that don't think exactly the same way that I do, and that can have those like conversations without the drama, you know? I love
Absolutely.
that.
Yes. And like when you go to a social setting that you were like, oh, we were so comfortable at home and now I need a sitter, like all the things, like you have to call people, you have to like make plans, whatever. Once you're there, that's an experience. That's you experiencing being with other people. And have it's an experience in its own. Me being in that pool, living the and you know what? I'll say this: if I learned anything, I was like, no wonder when Dia did the course last year, she was exhausted and she was like, that was so hard. But I wasn't in the pool with her, knowing what she did. I just saw her from a distance, kind of looking at my phone. So when I was in the pool with her and Monsieur Jacob was like, okay, now you're going to do like the crawl of the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, she hasn't swam in 8 months. Like, can we just like get her to put her head underwater for now? And then like, you know what I mean? And just like kind of get used to the pool. My gosh, you know? And her little heart was like beating and he was making her like in the back, front, turning, doing the side crawls. Like I was like, oh my God, this is intense for course one. So experiencing it really allowed me, and she loved it. Imagine her and like me, we laughed, we high-fived. Like I like really I was the best. I was awesome. I was a great coach. It's like, you got
Um,
this, kick, kick, kick. Like I loved it.
Of course, you were the best coach. So, also, you experiencing what Dia experienced allowed you to be more, I don't want to say sensitive, but to more
What's the word?
mm,
Sympathetic?
sympathetic, empathetic to her experiences and how she was feeling. And
Mhm.
there's so much power in that as well.
Exactly. And then it's like the experience of spending time alone with her, that it's about her hobbies, what she wants
Yeah.
to do. And like, I'm sorry, like, okay, you asked me to go on the, okay, now that I've experienced it, I wouldn't have said this before my experience. Ask me to play Barbies with you or ask me to go to your swimming lesson with you. I would choose swimming lesson 100%. Playing pretend
Amazing.
is not my thing. Right? Like I played Barbie with her. I did the other day and it was like the worst 30 minutes of my life. So long. When is
30
it
minutes.
30 minutes of like I like to dress them up. That's all I do. And you know what though? You know what I noticed? I don't even have to play Barbie. Just want me to sit with her. I just sit there. I don't say a word. She plays whatever and then she turns around. Oh, she's still sitting there, she thinks. And basically all I did is change the little Barbie's dress. I didn't say like I can't like play pretend and like that we're pretending we're going to the beach and then I talk with my mouth like I can't.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not my
not my
thing.
not my thing either.
Yeah. But you would have asked me, do you want to play Barbies or go to a swimming lesson where I need to like get naked and go into cold water and whatever? I'd have been like, oh, let's play Barbies because it's comfortable. It's in my home. But now that I've experienced both, I would choose swimming because you know what? I thought it was going to be cold. It wasn't cold. They like the heat in that room is insane. You actually want to be in a bathing suit. The weather was actually the pool, the water was not even cold. Like I got in, put problem. All of that.
Okay, you know what I'm thinking of as well is in this moment, we often I'm thinking about weight loss. Okay. We think about the journey ahead of us. We think about the experience ahead of us. We start to worry about things that we don't even know are problems yet.
Oh
So
my God.
you're worried, you thought, oh, I'm going to be cold. Oh, the water's going to be cold, right? Without even actually getting there.
Yeah.
We have this all the time. Our members, they start in December and then they're like, I'm worried about March break. And we're like, okay, let's get to March break first, you
Oh my
know?
God. Yes. Or I'm worried I'll be hungry. You haven't even started. Wait till you're hungry to figure out a plan. And also, why do we feel so out of control in the things that we completely control? Why are you afraid of being hungry when you have access to food? Like, don't worry about something that you're creating. Like the pool being cold, I have no control over that. Like the pool could have been cold and I can't be like, "Hey, can you put a little bit of heat in this pool?" So that's a little bit out of my control, right? So I could have been a little bit like I guess having a perception of it without knowing. But we have that all the time with weight loss, especially when people have not even experienced your weight loss, experienced um, proper successful weight loss. I'm sorry, if you've lost 50 pounds 10 years ago, that is not experience. You just have a perception of what you did 10 years ago that is now not the same. Like I just feel like we use experience and maybe in the past I've been in a pool where it's been super cold and I hated my life, and but I've never been in that pool. I've never done that course. I've never went into a pool for that specific reason before. I've been in a pool to
Oh,
like be a mom and wanted to kill myself because the pool is cold. But I actually really enjoyed that experience. I was having fun with her. We had a reason to be in the pool for 30 minutes that I knew was also creating skills for her and seeing her work hard. Like it was like such a different experience that I imagined because it's not the same. I'm not
it's
the
not
same.
it's not the same. So we need to not paint all of our weight loss experiences with the same brush. It certainly can be a different experience and try and not worry about the things that one haven't happened yet, two are coming up in a long period of time, three you have no control over, and just really focus on what you do have control over.
And I mean, guys, I could have walked in there with a totally different attitude as well. Let's be real. So my attitude was like, you are here. You can't get out of this. These are the rules. And also like you wanted this.
This
Keep
is
remi-
good reminder.
you wanted this. You paid. Like I paid for me to go in the pool. Like I
You
think that's
paid to be
funny.
tortured.
Yeah, exactly. And then Dia this morning was like, when is it swimming again? She loved it, Leash. Imagine, like she's her mama's daughter and she loves the attention. And I also like, she wouldn't have loved it as much if I wasn't as fun. I was extra fun. And I really walked in to like be that fun mom because we have 30 minutes where I cannot be on my phone. I cannot
Yep.
do anything else but be in the water with you right now.
Yep.
And I'm also a fun person. So I'm like, bring it. I can also be a serious person as well. Like I can be that person as well. Let's not lie to ourselves here, but it's not the person I want it to be. I was like, if you paid for this, you want her to love it. It was mostly for her. I was like, I want her to be like, when are we doing it again? So this morning, she's like, when are we going again? I'm like, tomorrow. She's like, oh my God, can't wait. I was like, why did you love it so much? She's like, ça passait vite. We laughed. And I was like, yeah, it was pretty much a good time. I also had a good time. And
That's
then
awesome.
also told her, did you notice that all the other parents, like there was like 7 parents there in different places and we were only 2 moms. All the others were dads. Let's be real. This is a job that moms do not like.
It's
There's a
true.
bathing suit involved.
It's true.
And often there's another child involved. So the mom stays home with the youngest or the other one because she stays comfortable. I know it. I would have for sure said, Jeff, you need to like do this, right? But it didn't fit in his schedule. And in the past, I've always asked Jeff to do anything that included a bathing suit. Let's be real. And now, like since last year, like I'm so confident. Like I was walking and the jiggling, whatever. I know people knew me there because obviously they saw my story. And I was like, you know what? I always promote how I feel about my body and I show the truth. And then that's when that video, I was like comfortable posting that video after because I'm like, that's what I look like. Like that's saw myself in the mirror. All of the cellulite was there. But then I felt so pretty. I don't know why. Felt
I
so
think
good.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
And I was like so proud of like the relationship I had with my body to be able to go and experience that with my daughter.
That is a moment.
Yeah, it is a moment.
That
Wow,
is
I
a
should
moment.
figure that out.
So you know what, guys, if you're listening to this, like the message that we really want to get across is that sometimes you are holding yourself back from experiencing things, from accomplishing things because you're worried about certain things, but you aren't going to know if you like it yet until you try it. And also, when someone says to me, "Well, how will I navigate going out to dinner with my friends?" Through experience.
Oh, that's a great example. Like, how will I love that. Yes, just go and see how you think, what your mindset is like, and experience is how we got to where we are, guys.
Through, I think about how I consider the holiday season now, how I think about March break, how I think about snow days. How did my mindset change? How did I get to such a healthy point? Through experience. And
Yeah,
I had
like,
to put myself in that position to experience, to feel challenged, to feel uncomfortable in order for me to learn.
yes. So when people are like, oh my God, how did you end up rocking your summer that way? I always say, this is not my first summer. No. Like, this is not the first summer that I decided that I was not going to be a disaster. This
Yeah.
might be my seventh summer, this is not my first Christmas. This is not my first birthday, chasing a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you need to start somewhere, guys. So 1, 2, 3, go. Uh, basically make that appointment with yourself. For me, it was like the little lady on the phone needed my credit card and I was like jumping in and this is it. Like you're doing it. And of course there was some uncomfortable thoughts in the afternoon. And that's when I made my pity party story of like, I deserve a medal. Here I am. You know what I mean? And then had a blast. So there you go.
Amazing.
And obviously them seeing my story and imagine how amazing I felt walking in and right away my experience was already like blown, like was already great just because I had a medal and I felt like that was funny. That made me feel good.
It was a fun moment.
It was a fun moment. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. So hopefully this podcast will allow you to just think of that one thing that you're like holding yourself back because you think you won't like it. Try it. Try it more than once. Okay. All right, everyone. You can follow us on basically every platform. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram under Your Way Weight Loss, or find us on the web under yourwayoursupport.com. Bye, Leash.
Thanks, guys.